Nicole is also here.
Okay.
You're doing okay?
Yeah.
Doesn't sound like it.
I'm doing okay.
You know, that sounds like okay. People say okay and they sound a little too cheery about it. I think that actually is more accurate of an okay.
I don't know. I think she sounded a little down.
But okay isn't okay like a 5? Like a 1 to 10? Isn't okay the 5? Or is okay like a 6?
Look, you're making me choke. You're bringing me down from an okay.
Oh, she's down to a 4 now. Tonight, we are doing No Hard Feelings. No Hard Feelings is a new romantic comedy, raunchy, R-rated, slapstick, early 2000s romantic comedy. And they're making them now. And it's Jennifer Lawrence and a little kid. And, I have heard quite a bit about this, and for once I know Jess actually has also heard about this as well, because usually she does not.
I felt like, I told Brennan earlier, I felt like I watched the entire movie on TikTok, because TikTok is marketing this movie so hard.
Yeah, I've seen this all over TikTok, and just Facebook, Instagram, like everywhere, every social media, just like, this is one of the ads that's in the rotation for sure. Nicole, had you had seen the bombardment of advertisements, I'm sure, at some point?
My life is not consumed by TikTok, I'll say.
Okay. Sounds like you're turning your nose up a little bit.
It's not true. I am also addicted to TikTok. But I didn't really see many ads about this on there. I think I saw them more on my advertisements watching YouTube.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
YouTube advertisements. So, I mean, all the social media is like, I guess people our age, target demographic. There you go. I mean, honestly, I would have thought a little younger, but maybe we're still young. No Hard Feelings. On the brink of losing her childhood home, Maddie discovers an intriguing job listing. Wealthy helicopter parents looking for someone to date their introverted 19-year-old son Percy before he leaves for college. To her surprise, Maddie soon discovers the awkward Percy is no sure thing. I believe she used the phrase at one point, this kid is unfuckable. This has a 68% on Rotten Tomatoes with an 87 on the audience and a 6.8 on IMDb. So 2 out of 3 critics like it, and most of the audience likes it. So that's pretty good for a summer comedy. But did we like it? You're going to find that out in just a few seconds. Because if you haven't seen No Hard Feelings, it's in theaters now, not streaming anywhere. Maybe you can wait for it, since that's what people usually do with rom-coms. But maybe you want to go see something in the theaters. So that's where it is, and we're going to spoil it here now. Jennifer Lawrence living in Montauk, which is part of the Hamptons, and so that's where all the rich people have moved, and she's kind of getting pushed out. She is an Uber driver in the summer, and she bartends, and she's just kind of scraping by. She lives by herself in her old family home, and she's in financial troubles, and her car gets towed, and so she is kind of on the ropes, and she finds a Craigslist ad for a car that she can get very quickly. Sounds like pretty much immediately. The only thing she has to do is date, in quotations, a 19-year-old boy, the son of these wealthy helicopter parents. And so she's going to go meet them and be like, and there's like, oh, he's an introverted guy. He's just, you gotta try to, but the kid cannot know. The kid cannot know this is all going down. It's all the helicopter parents doing it all in the background. And Jennifer Lawrence is like, I've done a lot worse for a lot less, so you know what, I'll fuck a 19-year-old for a car, why not? Like, it's quick, I need my money, I need to save this house, and she thinks it'll be quick, but it is not, it's the whole movie. And so the whole movie is her trying to court this 19-year-old boy, kind of against his will at first, and then maybe it gets a little nice, little sweet, maybe they find something in one another. No Hard Feelings. Jess, what did you think of this film?
Now that you laid it out like that, it is like your stereotypical rom-com. It's like someone got with someone because it was incentivizing for them, and then they actually got feelings, or the truth was revealed, and then the other person finds out, and then it's like, wait, it was like that in the beginning, but not anymore. Like, we've seen this movie a billion
It's
times.
like the Dare movie, take her to take the ugly kid to prom on a dare. Like, that's kind of like one of the old school versions. Only this is like, yeah, I get what you're saying.
I mean, it is exactly like that. The TikTok marketing did work. I swear I saw this commercial like 5 times a day, every day. So I was like, you know what? Fine. I'll do what you told me. I'll do what you want me to do. I'll go watch it. So I was excited to watch it because it actually did look really funny. I can't recall all the Jennifer Lawrence movies I've seen. I know there's been a handful, but I need to look up to see the ones I actually have watched, because I do like her. I think she's a really funny person, and maybe movies aside, I've watched her interview and like her comedy skits on talking to people, and she's just a very funny person in general.
Yeah, her interviews are good.
So yeah. So I like her sense of humor. She seemed like just a cool person, like you just want to be friends with. But I was excited to watch the movie, and I really enjoyed it. I get the corny parts of it, how it had to fit into this like cookie cutter plot and all that stuff. And maybe that's why the reviews weren't as favorable as I was thinking. I thought it would be a little better. I know it's a comedy, so it's not going to get raging reviews, but I thought a 60 or so whatever was pretty low. But it could just be them fitting it into the plot that it had to. But I had a lot of good laughs. I think there's a lot of good moments, a lot of good laughs. I don't think I could have picked a better cast for her in any other situation than this one.
All right, that's a pretty positive start. Nicole, do you echo these sentiments, or do you disagree?
I like Jennifer Lawrence too. I think she's pretty well-rounded. We've seen her in a lot of different roles. Some I like better than others. One of our favorite roles that she's in is Mother, which is a completely different feel of this movie.
Very
but
different.
I think
But also
it just speaks to her abilities to kind of be a chameleon in what she's doing. So I appreciate that about her. Silver Linings Playbook, we like her in that too. And we just watched Joy. That's very different from all of these.
Joy wasn't great, but she was great, is kind of how I feel about Joy, which is,
Yeah, and I think that she is able to slip into many different roles here, so I do like that about her. I don't think I've seen the other actor before, but I was very excited to see Matthew Broderick. I thought he looked great. This is something I would watch at home. You're right about that. It's not something I would really go out to see. Although I think that's starting to change a little bit because we just went and saw that movie. Was it called Rose?
Yeah, that was later last year,
and that was so fun in the theater. Like, we were, of course, laughing harder than anyone ever in there.
Classic.
Yeah, and this
no one has as much fun as we do.
Right, but this one I feel like everybody was on the same page, and everybody was laughing at the times to laugh.
Very full theater, we should say. Weekend showing, so it was packed, yeah.
And the stuff that we were laughing at was, it was kind of corny, and it was a little gross, but it was still funny. Like, I didn't feel like an idiot watching it, you know what I mean? Some of them just feel like, oh, I have to laugh now because the guy got bonked on the head or something. Like, it wasn't like that type of comedy, which I was happy
I know those
about.
are your critiques of a lot of Will Ferrell's work from the 2000s.
100%.
I know you're not a fan of his, except for Step Brothers.
This is not a Will Ferrell comedy.
Can't fucking stand any of that.
Will Ferrell's funny, but all right.
No, he's not. So, yeah, I like this. I enjoyed watching it together, and the thing, not to take away from the movie, but this always adds to it, is my experience, and I'm pretty certain that the people next to me were on a first date. So he was laughing, and she wasn't really laughing at the same parts, but he would lean over and say, like, oh, that was funny, right? Or he'd say, like, oh, did she just get naked? And the girl was like, yeah. And I'm like, oh no,
it wasn't going well. I didn't realize that date wasn't going well. That's
it was
sad.
okay.
Come on, at least play along with it if it's a movie.
She kind of
just
was, but that wasn't her style of movie.
I guess, yeah. Well, we don't know them. Maybe this was.
Yeah, but
maybe she wanted to see Asteroid City.
I actually thought that it added to the movie because the whole movie was about, this kid starting to fall in love with her, and she wanted no part of that. She was in it for the car, and I kind of felt like it was mirroring what was happening next to me. Maybe that guy was rich or something. I don't know.
That's funny.
We had a couple characters in our theater. A couple, not over the top ones like we've had in the past, but there was guy in front of us who would laugh by him. He wouldn't laugh with everyone else, but every once in a while he would laugh at something really loudly by himself. That was funny, but I don't know. He had he would find 3 jokes in the movie and really laugh at those, and then otherwise kind of be dead. And then there was the other guy in the back who, I'm always wary of talkers. As long as you're talking, not often, and it's an interactive, kind of like a horror movie, don't go in there. I don't mind that. I actually kind of like that in a theater. I don't like when you're side talking, talking about something else. But
no, I think that we have an over extended amount of people with some sort of neurological disabilities in our theaters. I'm just going to say it. I think that person may have been on the spectrum of some sort because it was a little bit extra than normal. But
the handicap row was full. I will say. So we don't.
But that happens to us a lot. Maybe it's the area we're in that there's homes or something. I don't know. I'm not to get into that. But yes, that person talked a lot. But anyway, back to the movie. Yeah, it was funny. It was something I could put on in the background again, watch it again. But yeah, I enjoyed my time watching it.
I really, really, really liked this movie a lot.
Oh,
I really liked it a lot.
Good.
It warmed my cold little heart. What I was not expecting. It's got the good gross out humor and absurd humor and over the top slapstick that you see in the trailers. I think we're in spoilers, but if you've seen the TikTok trailers that Jess is talking about, there's the throat punch scene you see and all the puking and the naked falling on the car, the train's gonna hit you. They show the raunchiest, over craziest stuff. And what they don't show you is that this kid, the actor, Andrew Barth Feldman, and Jennifer Lawrence's characters are super sweet together. Honestly, I really the age gap. You can't it's what it is, but I really like both of these characters. They're surprisingly sweet. I was by the end, when he's playing the piano in the restaurant for the first time and coming out of his shell, I was getting teary eyed in this stupid fucking summer comedy because it was just they were really committed to it. Jennifer Lawrence commits to this bit with she did for Joy and Hunger Games and all the other things we've ever seen her in. I think she elevates material and she's absolutely committed. And this kid, I don't know him, but he's matching and he's putting up a really good performance. The 2 leads are just so sweet is the word I kept thinking. This was a very sweet, gross movie, and by the end I'm a little teary-eyed, and I know they can't end up together really because she's in her mid-30s or whatever, and he's going to college and he's gonna go be with that Asian
it's not
Princeton
supposed
girl.
to be sort of relationship anyway.
I know it's not. I know it, and I think that's part of what I respond to. It's they're 2 lonely, kind of broken people. We get their backstories, and I'm just buying it all, hook, line, and sinker. I love the kid. At first, it sounds like a funny joke. There was a rumor going around that when I slept in my parents' room, because he's kind of clingy to his parents. He's very infantilized, I guess. And so he has to leave his school because the rumor gets so bad. It's he sleeps in the same bed as his parents. He fucks his parents, and it's just you can totally see that in school, and you could totally see that played off as a laughy joke in this kind of movie. But then they actually take it straight, and they're oh no, it's really hard, and it's fucked me up, and I just spend all my time in a shelter with the animals, and I don't talk to anybody. And Jennifer Lawrence's things too, her escapades are funny. When she goes and gets all these guys. Her character is she gets these guys to fall in love with her, and then they profess their love, and then she runs away from them, and then they become drunk assholes at a bar that she runs into. It's kind of the recurring theme. But these are just very, like, sweet, relatable, like, well fleshed out characters that I wasn't expecting. They don't feel like caricatures, and it just felt like people gave a shit. I really like this a lot.
Yeah, I like the relationship between them both, and it's trying not to slip into the trope of her being not in touch with her life into her 30s. Like, that's so old and tired. And relying on the maturity from the friend couple, the pregnant couple, you know? And someone that can't afford a nice baby gift, so she makes some piece of shit thing. Like, that kind of stuff, I'm like, oh, okay, that's old. I've seen that a lot. But, you know, this also reminded me of Superbad. It reminded me of Easy A.
Yeah.
It's got a lot of pieces from those things.
That's the kind of movie this is. Superbad, Easy A are great comparisons. Like, that's
I like
the
those.
tone.
I
Yeah.
haven't seen Superbad in a very, very, very long time.
I bet if you watch this and watch that, I bet this is better. I'm pretty high on this, honestly. This is my top 5 of the year right now.
Jennifer Lawrence was just so good.
She really was. Like, she was so committed. She was like, because she's an Oscar-winning actress. She's probably worth $100 million or something. She's got all the prestige in the world. She's been in franchises and she has nothing left to prove. And she shows up in this and like gives a shit. Like, she does whatever they want. She tries so good. Like, I just love. I've said it a lot.
I don't even feel like
recently.
she had to try. I feel like this just looked effortless to her.
I think she made it look effortless because I don't think. Because imagine any other 30-something-year-old actress playing this thing. You know, I'm sure there are others who could, but like,
yeah, if it was like Emma Stone
qualified.
or whatever, that would just be weird. But like, Jennifer Lawrence is funny, so this is kind of like up her alley. Or like, I feel like she didn't have to try extremely hard to be outside of her shell, because I feel like she's just this kind of like wacky person in general.
She has kind of a girl next door kind of vibe that helps, and now that she's older, she can kind of play that into like damaged goods kind of girl, but like still like, obviously very magnetic. You want to be around. And so it all checks out. Like, it all makes sense. And then this kid, his performance, like, he has to go, like, he's 19 or whatever. He has to go toe to toe with Jennifer Lawrence. Like, that's terrifying, I would think, for him. And I think about his early scenes with her. Like, she's sitting in the office and she pulls the chair over, and that's like kind of the eye rolling, she's pulling across the floor. That stuff doesn't really bother me because I expect it. But then they get into their little repertoire, and he's doing like a little interview, and he's like, are you married? She's like, oh, I recently single. And he's like, okay, unmarried? Do you have any children? Oh, I'm much too young for children. Childless. All right. Like it's just so small and so like it's like that's the first couple of scenes we see this guy, and I'm already like, oh man, he can keep up. Like he's got chops. I'm so happy. And then from that first scene, awkward meetup in the dog shelter with the cocaine dog, through the rest of the movie, I'm just laughing and having a good time, not thinking too much. And whenever the emotional parts come, like I buy it. And I can't really ask for much more than this.
I forgot about that whole scene in the dog, the adoption center. I forgot about all that.
It's a good tone
I
setter.
like how they wrapped the dog at the end. That was cute.
That's another thing, like the care of just basic stuff like that. This director and writer is Gene Stupnitsky, he directed a movie called Good Boys, which I didn't see, but I heard good things. It's like, it came out maybe 2 or 3 years ago, and it's like 3 15-year-ish old boys, and it's like this. It's another raunchy throwback comedy. Did you see that?
I remember seeing ads. No, I remember seeing ads for it. It seemed kind of like, I don't know if I would watch it, but
thinking back now, doesn't that seem
commercials?
Doesn't it make sense that this is the same guy? Like, don't those ads and commercials you saw kind of remind you of all the ads and like, I didn't see that movie. Maybe I got to go back and see it. It got better reviews than this. Maybe this guy is awesome.
Really good reviews. I remember that.
He's directed both of those, and then he wrote what did he write? Something you like, Nicole. He wrote Bad Teacher. You like Bad Teacher?
I do love that.
Yeah, and
I don't
then he
think I
wrote
saw
Year
that.
One, which is kind of mediocre. But I mean, this guy hasn't made a whole lot, but he understands. He's like kind of like a light Judd Apatow, or you know how they made like 40-Year-Old Virgin and Knocked Up and all those comedies from like 2006 to like, I don't know, like 2014 or something. Like this kind of reminds me of those, but a little sillier and a little sweeter, maybe.
I feel like it's a little more modern because
Yeah,
those
that too.
movies fucking suck. And I don't like any
You don't
of
like Judd
that
Apatow
stuff.
movies?
No, I don't
Forgetting
think
Sarah
so.
Marshall. I think that's a Judd Apatow movie, isn't it? Role Model?
Forgetting Sarah Marshall is a classic.
It
I've
is.
never
It
seen
is.
that.
I thought about that a couple times during this because that's like my gold standard of broad rom-coms. Like when someone accuses me of being a snob, because I'm I could be a snob. I'm like, oh yeah, Forgetting Sarah Marshall. It's amazing. It's a big broad comedy with big actors. It's dumb and slapstick, and it's amazing. And I kind of point to this in a similar light. Like it's big, broad, dumb
Well, I
comedy
think
with a couple
all
big
that-
actors.
All
I
that.
don't even know if I would really call it a rom-com. Like, I almost kind of want to lean more chick flick.
A chick flick, really.
Just because it doesn't spark, like, they have a relationship, but it's not romance. That's why I don't really think it's like they do like drive off into the sunset together, so I guess.
I know, they do literally drive off
But-
into the sunset together.
I feel
The
like all
context is
these,
different, but
like, analogies that we're giving, I think it kind of just lends itself to say it's not anything really fresh. It's kind
it's
of
not
the same
original.
thing.
I'll give you that.
No.
But
But
when I go, like, when you see the ads on, like, you know me, I go and I always give credit to new, original, weird, trying new things. But when I saw the ads for this, I'm not gonna go in and judge things unfairly. I'm not gonna go in and judge this like an Oscar movie, and I'm not gonna go in and judge this like an art house movie. I'm gonna judge it against other things like it, other big budget rom-coms or comedies or whatever, slapstick, crude comedies. And this, on that scale, is one of the best ones I've seen in years. Like, especially of like a big budget studio one. I've seen plenty of good little rom-coms and stuff on streaming services. Nicole and I just watched one recently that we'll be talking about. But this is like for a big budget one. I can't remember the last one I've liked. I mean, Bros, I guess, but even Bros was like a smaller, like not a huge movie. Like it was in theaters.
Was
but
Bros the movie that just came out that everyone thought was hilarious? Was that it? There was a recent comedy that came out that everyone thought was so funny that got really good reviews. Maybe it was Bros.
Bros came out like a year ago, maybe a little less than a year ago. It came out like last fall, I think. It is Billy Eichner from Billy on the Street. And it's like basically like a gay Hallmark movie, but they play it like that, and it's like on purpose. It's very good. Nicole and I both love that.
I feel like there was a movie that came out in like wintertime that was like so funny that everyone was talking about.
It might have been that.
TikTok.
It might have been. It
Maybe
would
it
have
was.
October, maybe something like that.
Yeah.
What else on this is like? I know this is gonna be like the longest episode because it's just a comedy, but we haven't talked about any of the other anythings. Like, there's the supporting cast of the pregnant woman Natalie Morales, who, if you haven't seen I'm Totally Fine on Hulu, that movie's kind of mediocre, but she is the second lead in that, and she is like a revelation. Like, she's keep your eyes out. She's very good, and she
I've
doesn't
seen
really
her
do
in other
much
stuff,
here.
too.
Yeah, she doesn't do a lot here. Like, she's good in her part. She's the pregnant friend, but like she's got really good chops. She's very, very funny. So keep an eye out for her. Who else? Matthew Broderick obviously gets to wear his weird old gray hair. Nicole turned to me and asked if it was the real hair, and I'm like, I can't imagine. And we looked it up after. I do not believe that was.
It's
his
not
real.
that far off, though.
No, he grew it out a bit, but it's not. Maybe he just didn't trim it for this. I mean, again, it's like, I don't know, because like I think it feels like when I point to like the writer director, the couple of stars, it's just like everyone gave a shit is what it feels like. There's a couple of stupid stunts in this where there's cars and driving over trains and going out to the beach and hitting stuff. Like, it all looks, solid. Like, I don't really have any complaints in that department either. I just walk away from this being like, wow, everyone wanted to make a big dumb comedy and everyone cared, and that's just refreshing. It's not what the fuck did we watch Murder Mystery 2? I mean, I know I didn't shit on that as bad as the first one, but like, you see the difference between a low, two other big rom-coms? Like, this one cares, that one doesn't, and I think that should be celebrated.
I'm trying to look at what I've seen Natalie Morales in.
Who is that?
Natalie Morales is the pregnant friend.
Oh, she didn't look familiar to me.
Yeah, well, I'm trying to think.
She's in Stuber. I don't know what she's in Stuber.
Oh, is she? I think she's the not the love. Well, kind of the love interest, isn't she? Like Batista's daughter, and then like Kumail kind of like hits on her. She's like at the art thing.
Maybe.
I think that's her. Yeah, I'm looking at this thing. Plan B, I didn't see. Oh, she directed Plan B. I gotta see that now because I didn't know that was her. Yeah, Spider-Verse. She was one of the spider things. Maybe. I don't know. No hard feeling, or not no hard feelings. That's this. I'm Totally Fine is the thing I saw her and that was fantastic. But and then what else we got?
Can we all believe that Jennifer Lawrence got naked in this movie?
Wait, so I was about to bring that up because me and my friend Liz is who I saw the movie with, we're saying, like, that's the only reason why it's rated R is because of that naked scene. Otherwise, I think it could have easily been a PG-13.
Well, they say fuck a million times. You can't say fuck in PG-13 movies. You can say fuck once.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah. But you forget about it when you're an adult.
I did not see that coming. I mean, it was one of the funnier scenes because he was just like beating the shit out of like 3 people naked.
I was like, it was funny because it worked for the scene. It wasn't just like get naked for no reason. It wasn't like a hot get naked. It was I'm gonna kick your ass, get naked because you took my clothes. Yeah. That's why it's funny. I just saw another nude scene recently. Another movie we'll be talking about. We're doing all of our recordings in bulk right now, and that one was a little more artsy and a little more on purpose. And then I look at this one where it's just Jennifer Lawrence flinging sand and punches.
Yeah, this one's not artsy.
That's what I like. Like the director has to go to Jennifer Lawrence, you know, acclaimed actor, and be like, "Hey, get naked and throw sand at people," and she's game, and she means it, and she fucking does it, and it's great. Like that's just I love when people are like, "Yeah, I'm gonna fucking do the thing. I'll anything for the laugh, anything for to make it extreme. I'll go for it." I respect.
It's
that.
just funny because she's like a new mom. I think she's got like a baby who's like I don't know 1, 2, or 3 or something.
Oh, dude, if Jennifer Lawrence was my mom, I'd be so proud. I'd be like, that's fucking
good for her.
Seriously, good for her. Good for all of us. I mean, this is it does I've been dumping nothing but praise on it. It's not perfect. There's definitely lulls. There's definitely some clunks. I think the end is weaker than it can be. Like it kind of fizzles a little bit because what's the end? Like
I agree with that.
We know what's gonna happen. Like we all know it's gonna happen. I know it's gonna happen the whole time. Like, oh, Percy can't know. Well, then he's gonna find out, and it's gonna be bad, and it's gonna be the thing that happens in every rom-com where like you lied to me or you tricked me or you blah,
the ending. Wait a minute.
What?
The fucking weirdest part about that. I'm sorry, I'm gonna forget if I don't say it. The weirdest part is that he finds out, he hears it through the car, and then invites the friend over. They fuck the car up. Then he comes back to dinner in what seems like, I don't know, a 20-minute span. I don't understand how he waited for the friend to come over, fuck the car up, then get back to dinner and has this whole conversation. It feels like no time has passed. It feels so...
Or like no one would hear the car hit the tree.
It's so chopped. I don't like any of that. I like what's happening.
It feels rushed, is what it feels like.
It's very rushed.
But I also think, like, his personality changed. Like, when he chugged the wine and he was acting, like, sarcastic and an asshole, I'm like, I get he grew up a lot in that span, but he never became a sarcastic asshole. So
I actually agree with you a little bit there.
Fit his personality.
I think he went a little too far. Like, I think the scene right before that when he's in the limo with her and he's starting to get a little dismissive and like more confident and be like, well, if you don't really want to be with me, then just go. That part I did buy. Like when he like leaves and goes to the party, that makes sense. But yeah, when he goes to dinner, he starts chugging the wine and then he crashes the car. I'm like, this is a little too far. And then of course we go to the beach thing. I'm like, this is completely unrealistic, not gonna happen. Like, we've been kind of on the like, I can see Jennifer Lawrence doing that earlier to him, and I like that we have the reversal. Like, now he's grown up, and now he's gonna do the crazy thing, and she's gonna be on the hood of the car and crash to the ocean. I respect that.
I actually didn't like her catching on fire. I thought that was just dumb.
Catching on fire? Does that happen during the car part?
Yeah, when she's on the hood and he's driving, and she catches on fire, and then they drive into the ocean.
No, like
I could look that out.
I'm mixed on it because I like it from a story writing perspective where like she did the thing earlier and now he does the thing in reverse, like it's a role reversal. Like
yeah,
I like that.
I like that she got on the car, but I don't like how far they took it. Like,
yeah, maybe
she
that's
caught on
it.
fire, they drove into the ocean. They could
I
have just
agree.
gotten pulled over and stopped it there.
You know what, Jess? I agree. Wouldn't it have been funny if they started doing that and he's like, I'm gonna do just like what you did, and then it just cut to a scene of a cop writing him a ticket and they're just both sitting in the car like ashamed? Wouldn't it, like, that would have been cheaper and I think funnier and less like cliche and more realistic, you know?
Yeah.
All right, well, we just fixed that, so we'll just, it's too bad they didn't put the movie out.
Call up your friend and tell them that.
Gene, I can save you about $250K and it'll actually be funnier. I promise. He would never.
We always have the best ideas, don't we?
But we do, but like, you never think about, like, these guys have, like, what, 3 weeks, a month to shoot these things. The timelines are crazy. Like, I'm sure as, like, a director, he's thinking all these things, like, while he's doing, like, oh, God damn it, this isn't right. This could be better. Like, but we just don't have the time and the money to switch it now. And I get it. But,
I feel like that's just one of the scenes that just could have gotten cut.
Cut, trimmed, changed, something. Yeah, I agree. Everything from the wine chugging to crashing the car on the beach, I would argue that's the weakest 5 to 10 minutes of the movie. But I'm picking nits at this point because before all that, I'm loving it. The end is, I mean, it's just kind of like, you've laughed for an hour and a half. Let's just like, we're friends, drive off in the sunset. It's lazy, it's whatever, but like, I don't know what else to expect, you know? I don't really know if there's a better answer for a broad comedy like this. You can't have them end up together, you know? It's just too weird. It's too strange.
Oh yeah, you definitely can't.
Yeah,
I like them both so much, but they cannot end up together. Like it's too weird. But
I thought she was gonna talk to her dad because like they showed the letter, so I thought she was going to reach out to him again or do something. But I'm glad they left that story.
I agree. I think it's a stronger choice to leave it out because it shouldn't be about her trying to get closer with her dad. Her dad didn't give a shit, and she has to learn to let go of that. That's what her whole selling the house in Montauk at the end. And like that's the part I like. I'm glad that she didn't stay. Like I'm glad that she realized actually I need to change. Like my life is going down a circular drain. Like I actually do have to like take action. And like good at characters, she arcs. Just like the Percy character, he arcs, you know, he goes from being shy, afraid, timid of everything, and then he finds a little confidence, and voila, he's actually so talented. He just needed that push from the disgusting Jennifer Lawrence. So it's just like it just really works. It just, oh man, I just have only, other than that 10-minute scene, I only have good things to say.
I agree.
Did we miss any major beats? I don't think there's any really cameos, unless you count Kyle Mooney as a cameo, the SNL and YouTube alum. He was the nanny, the threatening nanny, the fucking, you don't know how powerful these Hamptons guys are. Like, that was okay bit, but
I'm not even recalling that.
He was the plain white guy with the long brown curly hair. He was the old nanny.
Oh
Yeah, he had like 10 minutes of screen time. It was okay. Cocaine addicted dog. Yeah, I think that about covers it. Jess, you're gonna recommend No Hard Feelings?
Oh yeah, it was a great comedy. If you need a fun laugh and you have friends to watch, even better with, do it.
Nicole?
Yeah, I thought this was really fun as well.
Yeah, 3 recommends. I'm strong on it. A part of me wants this to make my top 5 at the end of the year just because it's so not a me pick, but also that means the year was not strong, so I don't actually want that. I would like the fall and winter movies to be as great as they always are. But as of right this second, as of this recording on end of June, this is on my top 5 of the year. This is an excellent film. This will be in the honorable mentions. It's one of the best broad comedies I've seen in years, and I'm glad it got a theatrical release. I know you guys are kind of mixed to not liking the theaters. I love them still. I love that camaraderie. I love the big screen. I like the chairs that aren't quite right, but I just, a $7 soda with my little spritzer on top. 3 recommends for No Hard Feelings. 3 recommends for no hard feelings. So we've got a lot of other stuff coming up. We're doing kind of a bunch of stuff in bulk recording. We've got theater. We've got other streaming stuff. And if you have things to recommend to us, I think August tends to be kind of a down month. So maybe there we could take some listener suggestions if they come in. Films with the Women in My Life on Facebook. Reach out to me on Instagram. I'm Brennan_podhost.